for your like every day. I'd agree with
so there's one thing that I think is critical that I want to 100% make sure that we cover today from you guys. I really want your perspective on this. First, I mentioned this, I think we've all mentioned this repeatedly in small little snippets. The first step, the only way to get into this is to take a first step somewhere. And it's something that consistently we see as problematic in our subculture, but definitely in our industry, where it's rise and grind. It's you're responsible completely and inexorably for the success of your small business as a streamer, and you feel that immense pressure all the time to perform and perform and perform, and we find it very challenging to carve out time for even just fun stuff for ourselves, much less like self-maintenance and the things that will actually make us more satisfied and happier and healthier in both the short and the long term. What kind of conception can we have, do you think, for generating the habits that in turn make it really easy for us to keep up with a really easy but healthy diet and regular and consistent working out and fitness? Like, how do we get past that first hurdle of actually getting in, settling down, creating the habits? How do we get past the first hurdle of finding the motivation? Because we're incredibly motivated in this one regard, but it seems to prevent us from getting motivated in these others. How do we make that? How do we take that first leap?
I think motivation is kind of a bad word in some cases.
I completely
because motivation
agree.
is highly overrated.
And it comes in waves. Like
Yes.
You're not always going to be motivated. That's
Just like your emotions.
Yeah.
Right. Just as, you're not always motivated to exercise, not always motivated to
We're
eat
not
healthy.
always motivated.
You're not always motivated to stream or play a certain game. Like there's always challenges. But the thing is, you got to use times when you're motivated to begin preparing and start creating your plan.
Actually capitalize on that?
Yeah,
Yes,
preferably write your plan when you're feeling the most motivated, and make it something that you don't BS yourself about how you're going to approach things coming up. A lot of times people just overestimate what their willpower level is going to be in the next 2 weeks.
They try to do
So that
too
honesty
much.
and self-knowledge.
Yeah. So apply your own wisdom of yourself and how you've behaved in the past when you write this plan, so that you know what, it's going to be a little hard for me. I'm sure there's going to be situations where I'm tempted on the weekends when I'm hanging out with friends. So I'll allot for that by maybe following the 80-20 principle throughout the majority of the week. I'm going to try and focus on 80% of all my food intake is going to be the highest quality, and I'll have that little 20% for the weekend when I might splurge a little bit or something.
Something I want to add in quick before we let Tom talk too is that having some accountability. So whether that is your community, whether that is a streamer like Tom or us or someone else on Twitch, or whether it's hiring a personal trainer, or having a buddy that you're doing this with, finding what is motivating you. Because we know that if you feel better, if you're getting more sleep, if you're working out, you're eating healthy, you're going to perform better. You're going to be a better streamer. It just affects everything. It has a domino effect. So taking time for you, it's also going to prevent burnout, which is so real for streamers. And so setting that time for yourself, whether it's time with friends, time with family, time to take care of you, that is going to positively affect your career and everything else.
Yeah.
So, for the initial motivation stuff, I completely agree. Even though I call myself a motivational talk show, I usually break it down and talk about how it's really about knowledge is empowering, feeling empowered in knowing what you do, because the emotions are fleeting. They come and go. Try, if you are motivated, like you guys already said, capitalize on that, because to build a habit, the ultimate goal should be, I want to build a habit so it feels normal. Because if it feels normal, it's no longer hard. Brushing your teeth isn't really hard. Maybe for some people watching right now, brushing your teeth is hard. But for most people, like filling gas or going to the grocery store, hygiene, it's normal. So going to the gym, you hang in there for 2 weeks to 2 months until that habit is built and it feels normal. So the question is, what do you actually need to do? how much time do you have? That's really like, to me, the most important part is like to really sit down and think how, like, what is a sustainable amount of time to put in to the gym?
And being honest about how much time you have.
Yeah, exactly. Like if you really think you have 0 hours for the gym because you're a busy popular streamer like Loco or Hunter, then you know what? 0 hours that's reasonable. And you just have to figure out something else to work out from home. Like maybe you got to buy some equipment, got to spend 20 minutes between streams or during your break or whatever. There's always something for someone. If you can spend 10 minutes a day, you can still get in a decent, like push-pull legs bodyweight exercise program. You just got to figure out like, okay, so set aside the time. And of course, MyFitnessPal, like that is such a huge, huge thing. MyFitnessPal, and then figure out whatever exercise you can do.
That's great.
I lost it again.
I can keep rambling for another minute.
That was so quick.
I wanted to say something. All right. Go ahead.
Oh no, I was just gonna say, I think people need to be honest with how much time they actually have and what's a priority in your life. So we all have the same amount of time in the day. And no matter how busy you are, you've probably got 5 or 10 minutes. It needs to come from somewhere. Are you on your phone for like an hour before bed or in the morning? Or like where is there a little bit of time that you can cut out? Because the time is there. It's just, is it a priority in your life? So if you're making health and fitness a priority, which it should be, because there's been a lot of health scares in the news recently for streamers, and that's only going to continue because of how people push themselves.
And there are more and more streamers, so you're more likely to hear about that more frequently. Yeah,
but then on top of that, sleep is another big thing. I wanted to bring up how Tom is a streamer. He works full time. He also has kids, so he can make time for it too. So there's always ways to sneak in a little bit of time to take care of yourself.
Fantastic example.
Yeah, and I think especially like for streamers, an interesting avenue is like you can incorporate some cool ideas into your stream. Like you don't have to, but so for me, like I'm raising money for St. Jude this month, and my community, for every $3 donated, I have to do a rep of exercise. I currently owe about 3,000 reps, with 3,000 done in the last 2 weeks. And I mean, it's got me motivated. Like I enjoy doing them. I'm doing a lot of jumping jacks, and I've actually seen the progress, and my community has followed along with me, seeing like, okay, now I can knock out 100 like jumping jacks at a time versus 50 in just 2 weeks. So there's also like games like Just Dance and stuff. Like
we do that. We love it.
You guys do that? Yeah. I really want to do that, and I think it's interesting because with streaming, it's gone from just playing video games to so much more that you can do, and so much more that people like to watch. There's definitely like workout streams and Just Dance and other creative avenues to get that exercise in while you're streaming.
Yep,
it's pretty nice.
I'm curious about that, about y'all's perspectives on